Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fencer, Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClickers, your boy Town 202 coming at you one more again. And going to talk about Tom Brady's jersey that was worth $500,000 that was stolen. And I mentioned this before a couple, actually when it happened, just to be talking about it. But now they actually found the person who did it. So I'm just going to listen to some commentators talk about what happened, and then I will tell you my thoughts. I'm not going to review it all. Well, maybe I might. It's only 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So here we go. Let's see what you got to say.
This is everything that happened that night. It's a 46-minute, basically, timeline that we've condensed down here to 2 minutes. This is the moment, 9:36, that Tom Brady takes his jersey off. It's given to a team employee. Right? That team employee, you have it there. So Tom's over on the field.
All right, hold on a second.
2 minutes. This is the moment, 9:36, that Tom Brady.
I'm going to actually show some picture by picture. I can't show the video, though. You guys know how it is. All right, so this is Brady here. Takes his jersey off. Gives it to this employee right here. Bada boom. I'm doing this backwards. Here's the employee right here. Okay, so there's that. Doing this kind of backwards, but what I'll do is I'll play the video and then I'll...
That team employee, you have it there. So Tom's over on the field there. And then we're following him. He hands it off eventually. That's a team employee. That's a league employee. I would think it's a team employee because Tom's not just going to give it to whoever he wants. The other cameras we were able to use, we had parked out in the Patriots locker room. So you see this coming up. This is the guy. There's a few minutes with the jersey going into the locker room. Okay. And here, as we can understand, the other guy, the perpetrator here, who is, again,
who's not the team employee.
He is a big name in Mexico. Big name. Mauricio Ortega
Mauricio Ortega is the thief.
A director of one of the biggest newspapers in Mexico. Here we see him. He's taking selfies, which TMZ showed yesterday, a history of about 10 years of selfies at the Super Bowl, with Gronk, with Slater. And then we see him for the first time here pick up in Bill Belichick's group to try and infiltrate, act like he's one of the crew, and start walking into the locker room. This is well before the rest of the media was allowed in. Yesterday, we pixelated it. Today, we don't have to.
So he's a media guy.
Being able to do this, and you see him right here, well before the rest of the media, just walk right in the locker room with the wrong badge on. With the wrong badge on.
How do you get that badge?
And it's not the proper badge to be in there at that time.
Yeah,
he's just walking around.
Because nobody suspects him.
Here, but that guy's already in the locker room. Check this out. He looked right at one of our cameras. This was huge.
And that's how he got caught.
In identifying who this was. That shot right there was instrumental. And the whole time also, he's just mulling about, walking around. You see he has nothing under his left arm. Right? And this is at 10:11. 10:18, we see him walk out here with the jersey under his left arm, and I'm going to go back and tell you what happened.
10:11.
In those 7 minutes.
Yeah, please.
You see him walking off the field there. When the rest of the media is going in to do their job, he's now walking off. And you see him kind of glance around here, turn around, seeing if everybody's onto him here. He switched the jersey to the other hand, and then we get him here making his way off the field. Look, anybody who's covering the NFL and covering the Super Bowl, you see us there at Fox. We're still on our postgame show. They're not running off the field there.
This is Jake Laser who's talking.
Running off the field here 46 minutes later. That's when you're going to get your interviews. That's when you're going to do all your work. So because you're on a deadline. And instead, we'll see him. He just makes his way off the field.
Okay, so, all right. So I'm going to show you guys picture by picture what he was saying. The video is also on World Story Hip Hop. And then I'm going to go ahead and give my 2 cents on what happened. This is something else here. Okay, so let me start the video again.
This is everything that happened that night.
All right, let me pause it here. This is Jake Laser who's talking. Jake Laser, Colin Hurd, I think. Jake is doing the explaining. Basically saying, okay. So here's the employee who got the jersey. Here's Brady taking off Here's Brady taking off his stuff. Here's the employee he hands it to. Hands it to this guy. I don't know who he's hugging right there, but he hands it to this guy. So there's the employee he hands it to. There he is again. This guy goes back. There he is again. There's the employee. And let's see. They're showing the cameras and how this camera's everywhere. Here's the employee again. So Brady handed it to the proper person. This guy was not a, well, he was probably a suspect until it was found. There's the employee again going into the right place, which is, taking it to Tom Brady. There he is again. So he drops it off. So he obviously doesn't have it. So Ortega is here, who's the guy who's big time in Mexico. He also he's a big media guy. Basically, so here's Belichick and everybody walking into the locker room, and they're supposed to have this badge on here. Ortega doesn't have that badge on, but he walks right by security. So here's security right here. These guys in red are to stop anybody who is not wearing a certain badge to come in there. That includes media. So let's see if we can pick up Ortega because he's... Boom, there he goes. There goes Ortega right there. So he's just going to casually walk in there. And there's Belichick. And Ortega's going to be at the tail end here. So here's a guy who actually took it. Now this is crazy because this guy, he obviously has a well-paid job. He obviously, he's big time in Mexico. He's which is probably where he was going to sell it. This guy has some influence. I mean, he's part of the media. It's not like this guy is some schmo off the street, some broke guy who had nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? This guy obviously is, he's doing okay for himself. You know what I mean? So he has this badge on. It's the wrong badge. Wrong badge. So he's doing okay for himself. Why make a mistake? Not even a mistake. That's Tom Brady right there. Why do this? There he is looking right at the camera. And that's what sealed his fate. Boom. Right at the camera. That's how they figured out who it was. Because he's going to, do some other shady stuff. There's him again. And he's just waiting. And within 7 minutes, here he is again. And that's where the 7-minute clock starts. Because he goes right in there. And they don't say how he does it. But here he is leaving with the jersey. I want to know what happened in that 7 minutes in between, all the way up to 10:18. I want to know what happened. So he makes his way out. There he is right there, so on and so forth, yada yada. He looks back to see if anybody's looking at him. It's just amazing how all that security, these guys in red, were not instrumental in protecting what they should have been. Also, this guy decided, there's all the media people, this is him leaving. Also, that Ortega guy decided not to do his job. Because, how it goes after the games, then there's all the talk about the games and speculation and what happened and, yada, yada, yada. He's a part of that machine. But he said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave because I got a $500,000 jersey that I just stole. So there that is. Like I said, it's on World Star Hip Hop. You guys can go there and check it out. But it's just ridiculous. I think I'll even leave a link in the description if I remember to. But it's ridiculous. I didn't really care about the jersey. I was like, so what? But when I heard it was a $500,000, I was like, that's a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. But nonetheless, Tom's got his jersey back. So everything is right as rain, but of course they went and they're going to prosecute this idiot, and he's going to lose everything. Like, there's no way the NFL is going to let this guy. I mean, I wouldn't. I bet Roger Goodell goes after him and is like, "You're not allowed back on the field." You know what I'm saying? And what's even worse is, oh my God, I'm like, no, I'm gonna say it. What's even worse is the dude. He's big time in Mexico. He's a Mexican citizen, probably an American citizen too, but nonetheless, I mean, this guy, it just doesn't look good, with all of the stuff that's going on between us and, the Mexican people, who are not all bad. Everybody has bad in their group somewhere, probably in their household. You know what I mean? So I'm not coming after Mexican people. I'm just saying that we have strained relationships right now because of the, Muslim bans, and then trying to build a wall, and the president just going haywire and making everybody our enemy. Nonetheless, I'm just saying it's just not a good look.